Hey, I want to show you my Andy Griffith home media collection. But wait, I guarantee there's a few surprises, some stuff you haven't seen. Let's take a look. The first part technically isn't from the Andy Griffith universe, but it was No Time for Sergeants. Look at this huge thing. No, it's not a vinyl record, but it's the size of one. You know what it is? It's called a laser disc. Maybe you remember those. They were the premium video format in between the 70s and the 90s. But basically, it's like a big DVD. Now to the actual Andy Griffith Show. Season 1. Look a little different? Yes, this is the less common BluRay edition. Full HD. I've heard some people ask, how can something that's this old be made in BluRay if BluRay didn't exist yet? And you know what? That's a fair question. But here's the thing. Andy Griffith and really pretty much everything at that time was recorded on movie film. Anyway, film was different than videotape because film captured a lot of detail. So when they turn it into something digital, they have to scan it into the computer, and they can scan it at a really high resolution. When you get it on a DVD, it's not as good as it could be. I mean, it's fine, but if you saw the difference between the Blu-ray and the DVD, the Blu-ray is so much better, so much more detailed. And this isn't adding anything to it. This is the way it was originally filmed. Unfortunately, Season 1 is the only one to make it to Blu-ray. But here's the thing. You don't need to have a Blu-ray to see the whole series in HD because on Amazon Prime, which incidentally also has the new movie Mayberry Man, so far exclusive to that digital service, the entire Andy Griffith Show is available in full HD to stream if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. And you might be able to purchase it separately too, I'm not sure. But regardless, that's why I don't own the rest of the series on disc, because I'd rather stream it in HD than watch a DVD. So anyway, that ran for 8 seasons, partially concurrently with the spin-off, Gomer Pyle USMC. Unfortunately, that one is not available in HD currently anywhere, so I own the DVDs. They originally did release multi-season sets for all 5 seasons, but then they came out with this really neat clamshell case. Take a look at this. There they are, Gomer and Sergeant Carter, and look at this big fat thing. This big, transparent clamshell case. Whoa, look at all those discs. My goodness. It's just packed in there. Packed like sardines. And that ran concurrently with seasons 5 through 8 of The Andy Griffith Show and season 1 of the continuation of The Andy Griffith Show, Mayberry RFD. I don't personally call this a spin-off because it really isn't. It's the continuation. It has all the same characters. It's just that since Andy Griffith isn't the star anymore, they couldn't keep calling it that. But it's basically a lot of the same stuff as The Andy Griffith Show, with Aunt Bee, Emmett, Goober, the characters just continuing on in Mayberry. Season 1 did come out. It's not available in HD anywhere, but it is a nice restored version on DVD. Andy and Helen get married in the beginning of the show. Yes, Andy does make some guest appearances. And unfortunately, seasons 2 and 3 of Mayberry RFD were never released. But it does air on TV sometimes, so I recorded the rest of the episodes and made my own DVDs. Yes, Season 2 and Season 3. I go to a lot of trouble, don't I? Is this an illness? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, and side note, in case anybody got the wrong impression, this is not for piracy or copyright violation. This is just for my personal use. And like I said, Seasons 2 and 3 are not available to purchase anywhere, and as soon as they are, I will be the first to buy them. Oh, P.S. Then in that series, Andy and Helen have their baby, Andy Jr. So that ended in 1971. And then there was another obscure little spin-off. As you know, Goober continued his character in skits on Hee Haw. But there was also another attempted spin-off. And there was a pilot episode made, but it never got turned into a series. But if it's still on YouTube, I'm not sure. There's unfortunately just the introduction to it and the opening scene, and you can go check that out. And hopefully someday some copy will surface, because our Mayberry binge will not be complete until then. So moving from the 70s on to the 80s, 1986 to be exact. Yes, you know what's coming, don't you? Return to Mayberry. And by the way, that's included on the Season 1 Blu-ray in glorious high definition. In my opinion, I've seen a bunch of television reunions of sorts, and this is like one of the best ever made. It's a lot of fun, a lot of heart. And if you haven't seen it, you know what, I'm not even going to spoil anything from it, just in case. The Blu-ray also incidentally includes the very first piece of Mayberry canon, which would be the pilot episode that was included in the Danny Thomas show, which incidentally bears a very similar plot to Mayberry Man, the new movie. Now, Return to Mayberry was released as a standalone DVD, but it's kind of got a hidden release too. If you check out the Andy Griffith 50th Anniversary DVD collection, it's like a 3-disc set. It includes best of episodes, but it also includes Return to Mayberry and the restored full-length Danny Thomas pilot episode as extras. And as far as we know, that was the end of the story. Andy Griffith did make another series called The New Andy Griffith Show, and some of the old actors did make appearances for old time's sake, but it has really nothing to do with the Andy Griffith Show. It's a whole new story, new characters, different vibe to it. So that brings us to, yes, of course, Mayberry Man, the new movie. And of course, this isn't part of the canon timeline, so to speak. This is more of a real world, yet fictional story. But it's a lot of fun. It's an independent movie, made independent of the Hollywood system, crowdfunded, starring a lot of professional reenactors and fans who are given roles in the movie. So yeah, it's a good, clean, fun movie. Released on this beautiful DVD case. Yeah, kept the little inserts from Weaver's department store where I bought it. And I even got the autographed copy from Alan Newsom. From this guy who does a spot-on impersonation of Floyd. And don't want to forget Barney, he's great too. And it is only available on DVD. It is available in HD on Amazon Prime. And being the geek that I am, of course I made my own Blu-ray from the HD Prime version. There's no hope for me. No hope. Anyway. That was the Mayberry collection on home video. See you later. Wait. One more thing. I have a spot on Cary Grant impression. Judy, Judy, Judy.